Hi everyone, how's it going? I'm Martha and this week we're going to be looking at television in Germany. What's on German television? Gary Webb asked, what do the Germans like to watch on the television? Do they have an equivalent to Coronation Street, which is a soap opera? So I'm hopefully going to answer that question for you today, Gary. The quiz question this week is about television. Wah, wah, wah. By the way, this isn't advertising for this magazine, by the way. When did they switch on colour television in West Germany? Bonus points if you can also guess when they turned it on in East Germany. But let's focus on West Germany this week. Have a little guess and I'll let you know at the end of the video with a few more facts about colour television. But now we're going to check out this television guide and I'll just show you what a typical layout looks like for Saturday. So we've got the days along the top as usual, plus lots of information and pictures about all of the programs. The main two channels in Germany are Das Erste and ZDF. Das Erste is the first channel and ZDF is the second channel. Even though one pays for a license, there's still advertising on the two public channels. Then you've got the third channel, which is effectively local channels, so channels for different areas of Germany. And then after that you've got the private channels, which is ProSieben or RTL. These channels have lots of advertising to help pay for the content. We're just going to skip ahead to Monday because I want to show you what's on breakfast television. Yes, they have breakfast TV here as well. The Morgen magazine is on both channels, Das Erste and ZDF, but it's the same program. It's just one week, one channel produces it, and then the next week, the other channel produces it, so they switch. But it's the same content. That's odd. The Mittags magazine is also on both public channels at the same time. So you get the same content on two channels. Lucky us, eh? Later on in the day we've got nature shows like Leopard, Zebra and Co. and Nashorn, Zebra and Co. So they really like this and Co. system, don't they? Every Monday at 20:15 is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on RTL, and it's always with the same host. And I think if this host left the show, no one would watch it anymore because he sort of comes with the show. The millionaire guy, there he is, Günther Jauch. Boop, boop, boop. Other quiz shows include Wer weiß dann so was, which is two celebrities battling it out to win money for the audience behind them, which is really fun to watch. And then we've got my favourite quiz show, Quiz Duel. The original Quiz Duel was good, but they've changed it a bit now. The original one was basically 3 or 4 members of the public in the studio against the whole of Germany, and the whole of Germany votes using an app on their phone. It's interactive, so from the sofa you can play with the show, and if at the end Team Germany win, then Team Germany splits and shares the winning money, which is really cool. On the private channels you get a lot of American sitcoms, 11 in the morning until sometimes 7 o'clock in the evening. We've got The Big Bang Theory here, for example. Unfortunately, it's all dubbed and there's no opportunity to get English original language, which is a shame, I think. Hopefully they'll change this in the future. Every evening show starts at 20:15. 20:15, 20:15, 20:15! The reason is because of the Tagesschau, which is the main news program. The Tagesschau is on Das Erste and also on all of the third local channels, so it's basically repeated and repeated and repeated at the same time on lots of channels, so you can't miss it basically. The two public channels before 8 o'clock are allowed to do advertising, but after 8 o'clock, after the Tagesschau, they're not allowed to advertise. And also on Sundays they're not allowed to advertise either, so there's quite a lot of rules here about advertising. The evening news shows are a bit longer to explain more about what's going on in the day, whereas the Tagesschau at 8 o'clock is just 15 minutes long. Now Gary, you asked me if there's a sort of program like Coronation Street on German television. Well, I think there is, and I think it's Lindenstrasse, which is on Sundays for 30 minutes on Das Erste. They call it a Familienserie. It's been going since 1985, I believe. There's also a daily soap on RTL, which is called, what's it called? It's called Gute Zeiten, Schlechte Zeiten. So good times, bad times. And that's daily soap. And that's been going for so long, it's got over 6,000 episodes. There's also lots of other daily soaps on RTL called Unter uns or Alles was zählt. Everything that counts. I don't watch these daily soaps though. I'm busy at work. Another thing that's really popular is a Krimi on Sundays. A Krimi is like a criminal thriller drama show, and it's called Tatort, and Tatort means crime scene. And Tatort has been going since 1970, so this is a really iconic long-running show. Tatort is filmed all over Germany, so sometimes they show up in your local town, so you might see your town in the show. There's another sort of cop show called Alarm for Cobra 11, which has been running also for a very long time on German television, and this is a sort of action-packed buddy cop thriller, drama, explosion-filled show. Fast cars, action. I don't actually watch that. In fact, my favourite German shows have been cancelled or have ended. I liked Schlag den Raab, which was a sort of quiz game show with action in it as well. Another show I really liked was Wetten das, which means wanna bet that ... This was a show where anyone could come and say, hey, I'm gonna do this crazy bet, like, I don't know, balance 100 bowls of fruit on my head, and if you managed to do it, then you could be in the chance of winning a prize, money or a car. Unfortunately, because Wetten das isn't on television anymore, there's not really a show which has these big stars on it, these big Hollywood actors promoting their films, and I kind of miss that in German television. Kids also have a place on television, of course. There's a dedicated channel called Kika. Let's find Kika in here. Looking for Kika here. Kika! There's Kika! Ta-da! Can you see? Kika? Kika has Sesamstrasse, Sesame Street, lots of German cartoons, lots of educational programs, lots of programs for older kids as well, like early teens. My favourite Kika show is Logo, which is the Kindernachrichtensendung. I like the more easygoing news show, so Logo is perfect for me. Kika has this funny character called Bernd das Brot. So, Bernd the bread. I thought he was a sponge. It's kind of a strange thing. When Kika goes offline in the evening, Bernd takes over and he's talking about lots of odd things. I still don't get it. If we hop back to ZDF, I know I'm hopping here and there in this video, I'm sorry, but they also have a mascot and, many of them, and they are called die Mainzelmännchen. Die Mainzelmännchen. Mainzelmännchen, yes. Männchen is a little man, and Mainz is a place where ZDF is based. So it's basically the little men from Mainz. I love these guys. They always get up to little adventures in between the adverts, and they're humorous as well. It's really good. I think they are there so you stick with the advertising and you don't switch channels. It's quite clever, actually. There's always football on, and it's always a big deal, of course. Here we've got Champions League action going on, and on Saturdays we've got the Sportschau, which is looking at all the sport action, all the football league action. Tagesschau is for news and Sportschau is for sport. Ha! Saturday evenings is the prime time for big blockbuster films or game shows. Sometimes game shows can go on for hours, which is very different to English television. Sometimes they can end at 1 o'clock in the morning, for example. Be aware that you might hear a lot of swear words in game shows in the afternoon. People can say bad English words in there, and no one lifts a blind eye. Look at this. I found England's schönste Gärten. Maybe I should check that out. My favourite channel to watch would be Arte, which is a French-German co-production channel. They have really great documentaries on Arte. There's also an animal show called Hund, Katze, Maus, which I like, and that's about pets. News about pets, stuff to make for your pets. It's good. We shall go back to the quiz question. If you said A, you're wrong. Oh, if you said C, you're also wrong, because it's B, 1967. Yes, that's when they switched on colour television in West Germany. Willy Brandt, a very famous German politician, was at the International Radio and Television Fair in West Berlin. And what he did is he pushed a big red button to turn on colour television. Fun fact, the button wasn't actually connected to anything. It was just a prop. Colour in East Germany was turned on in 1969, in case you also had a guess at that. And that concludes my mini guide to what's on German television. Many thanks for watching. If you want to see me count down my top 10 favourite German TV shows, let me know in the comments. Oh yes, actually guys, next week there's going to be a special guest in my video. A very small, furry special guest. But more about that later on in the week. Until then, Max gut, take care, and alles Gute. Cheers!